Good morning, people. Welcome to another True North Losers outing. It is Thursday, October 20th, 2022, and I am at entry point number 25 on Moose Lake. Take a look. This is a Ford Fiesta. We strapped North Star Solo on top of that thing. So don't say that a tiny car won't carry a canoe. Let me show you the rest of the parking lot so you see the traffic that I have to deal with here. I'll just take you for a quick little spin. Yeah, there's nobody here. The day is perfect right now. It's low 30s Fahrenheit, but it feels great. The sun is great. The skies are beautiful. Just a little ripple on the water out there. I don't know if the GoPro shows it too much, but I gotta climb down a mess of stairs. I'll show you a little bit of that. Listen, I hope you enjoy the show. We'll do 4 days into Sunday, 3 nights. I'm gonna go find a spot on the north end here, and yeah, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you in a bit. Well, I guess we're ready to take off. Man, I ended up talking to a ranger. Pulled up, 10 minutes after, maybe 15 minutes after I parked up there, and man, we jogged for like 45 minutes. And so it's 20 to 11, which ain't bad. I was hoping to be on the water by 11. I had a great start. At the outfitters getting a canoe, but yeah, a little bit of a delay. So we're gonna hit it. Well, we're rolling, people. This is a motorboat lake. Heads right up to the Canadian border. I don't know if you can hear that boat to my left. But you've heard me say this a million times before, and I'll say it again. It's gorgeous out here. Water is calm. Skies have a few wispy clouds. The sun is just beating down nicely. I haven't got a campsite specifically picked out, the Ranger that I mentioned, recommended a site closer than where I was going to go, called Horseshoe Island. You can look that up. You can look that up on the BWCA maps. So I got these little wake waves here from the boat. I'm sure that the GoPro with image stabilization is handling that just fine, but you're probably seeing my, not anymore, but they probably saw me rock a little bit. I put about an 8-inch extender on the GoPro clamp just so I could have a little more flexibility. And I'll tell you, I've got on my white compression top. I got my black poly spandex top that Tammy just bought me. Not thick at all, but they're breathers. And then I got my poly hoodie, and I can guarantee you that I'll be pulling the hoodie probably in the next 15-20 minutes. So we're probably a quarter of the way. And everything's holding just fine. It's some decent sized water. Very placid. So I stayed overnight in Ely again, just so I could get an early start. The entry point was about a half-hour away, so I picked up the canoe, as I mentioned. You saw it strapped to the roof. That's all good. It's just kind of a funny look on a dinky little car like that. But I'm heading down the road to the, just getting out of town in Ely, and I get behind this car, not following too close. I'm not in a big rush. I don't want that canoe to fly off my car. And the car's probably, I don't know, 100 yards ahead of me. And he starts braking. And I see a little forked buck run in front of him, so I figure that's it. And I figure he's just going to take off again. Then he's braking some more. There goes another deer, and I figure, well, there can't be any more than that. And I'm still not braking yet. and so then I'm coming up on this guy. So then I lay on the brakes, but I lay on him harder than I would have had to. And it's all fine. It's all fine. 3 deer cross, whatever. Beautiful day. It was just like Norman Rockwell out there. But then this image popped into my brain. How funny would it have been if that canoe on top of my car just frickin' went sailing off the roof, crashes right into the backside of that car that was in front of me. It's little things like that that entertain me. That'd have made the trip just perfect. So that's that. I'm gonna wax philosophical on a few subjects during this trip. Nothing too heavy. One of my subjects is going to be electric bicycles. I don't think I'll get too deep into it right now, but I got an issue. I got an issue with them, and we're going to talk it out. And I've had it out with Tammy and the girls, and you know, unsurprisingly, they're not really on my side with this point. But I'm going to ask any of you viewers out there, get your mind right. Get your mind right on your thoughts on electric bicycles. And a little later in the trip, I'll give you my take on it. And if you want to share comments, why, that's all good. Just wanted to show you this water. Look how flat that is. Oh my gosh. Right now, it's like I'm the only person out here. We're probably about halfway there. It's just a very pleasant paddle. It's one thing I haven't paddled alone in a canoe before, but you do a lot of zigzagging because you only have one paddler. So you do a few paddles, you switch sides, and kind of zigzag your way down the lake. We are on the west side of Horseshoe Island, up in Newfoundland Lake. If you want to look that up, there was supposedly a campsite along this side. I might have seen one back a ways, but it wasn't obvious to me. It wasn't immediate obvious to me, and so I'm gonna kind of circle the island. There's 3 campsites supposedly on here. I'm gonna scope them out. It's a little earlier, or I should say shorter, in where I was planning to go, but the ranger thought it was a cool place to possibly camp, so that's why I'm checking it out. Here's the downside to this side of an island or this side of any shore is you lose sun on the west side. And when it's really warm, that's kind of a nice thing, but cooler weather, you kind of like the sun. So this is supposed to be a camp on Horseshoe. This is the one that's on the east side, the southeast side. There's 3 campsites on Horseshoe Island. There was the one that's on that northeast corner was occupied, and it had a tent just like Nick's ice fishing tent, only red. I'm gonna step up here and see what we got. This ain't no campsite. This ain't no campsite, people. I'll look down here just a little further. There's no grate. So we're gonna keep hunting. Well, let's see. 12:37. We're almost 2 hours paddling. I begged off of Horseshoe Island. I'm gonna head up to the area that I was originally gonna go. It's and this might be totally appropriate. Sucker Lake. Sucker Lake, you'll find it on the map, is pushing Canada. In fact, it looks like it touches part of Canada, or part of it touches Canada. But there's a whole string of southern campsites on the north shore. I should say southern exposure campsites. I might hit one just shy of there. Just look at it. But nah, 2 hours. This is nothing. I'm probably gonna be there within a half hour, 45 minutes. So this, it's good. You know, I could have swore I mapped it out from the entry point to this area to be about 6 miles. The ranger said I couldn't sneak around that left side peninsula and get on the north side of that Sucker Lake Peninsula thing, to be on the Canada side, I should say. It's still international waters, but I'm not sure I want to be on the north side anymore anyway. Once again, cooler weather, you kind of like more of a southern exposure during the day, and doesn't mean I won't try to sneak up there, do some fishing, but no, it's been perfect. There is a light breeze. I think for the most part it's been in my favor. But if this is what 6-7 mile an hour means, this is nothing. And in fact, could make a good drift for fishing. You hate dead water for fishing. You get a nice drift with a light wind, do some jigging. Yeah. So anyway, it's been perfect. I didn't bring the seat back. I didn't bug Nick for it. I could have gotten one from Nick, but I wanted to try without it once. I'm not sure that I'm better off without it. Probably would have been better with it. But there's a whole other dynamic when you lay stuff out in a canoe when you're solo compared to pairing up with someone. There's certain things you want within reach, and yet you got to stretch your legs out, and every once in a while kind of go Indian style. But that's all minor stuff. So anyway, I'm kind of approaching the last stretch. Like I said, half hour to 45 minutes, and I'm going to be checking out campsites. I'm going to look at one on the right side as soon as I go through these reeds here. I'll give you a shot at the reeds. Little shallow spot here. Oh, look at that rock. Sir, if you wreck the boat, you pay for it. Yeah. It was amazing. Two motorboats just passed me about 5-10 minutes ago, and one looked exactly like a miniature barge. I swear to God, it looked like this big, it looked 30 feet long at least, and rectangular. And it wasn't a pontoon boat. I mean, it could have had pontoons, but we've all seen pontoon boats. It didn't look like that. And, you know, a tiller off the back. That was the weirdest thing. We might see it again. All right, signing off for a sec. Well, I think we might have found our campsite. This is just short of where I was going to go, but it's nicely elevated. We got some big old flat walrus laying rock here for Mama. Look at that. There's our grate. No big logs next to the grate, but I can live with that. I can live with that. And then back in the woods, just a little ways here. We got a nice little flat spot for the tent. So I think we're going to make this home, and then we'll spoke out from here and do some fishing. I'm going to start hauling stuff up, and I'll get right back to you. Well, we got all our stuff up here. I got the canoe out, safely put away in some grassy spot down there. I'm going to bust out a few items, and then we'll talk about a plan. Did I give you a good view of the lake yet? Better do that. So we're sitting where you're seeing right now is about where we're gonna put up our dogs, but I'll do a quick scan of the lake here. It's actually just beautiful. This is a long running pathway up here that connects three lakes. Right here, I think we're on Sucker Lake at this point, and straight ahead that way is where I would have kept going to find some other campsites. Here's one of the reasons I'm going to stay here. Right now the wind is blowing right along the length of the lake down that way, and all of those campsites would have been facing into the wind, whereas this one I'm tucked back in a little bit. I've got some trees to block some of the wind, and it's nothing for me to canoe up there tomorrow or Saturday and just do a little exploring. So that's kind of how the program looks right now. But we'll bust out a few items. The homemade backpack here is a car top carrier, soft-sided car top carrier bag, a massive duffel that I got for like, I don't know, 25, 30 bucks. I just can't see spending big money on those. I mean, they're nice, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're not nice, but jeepers. It just kills my soul to spend money on stuff like that. Right now, yeah, I brought up a thermometer. I better put that up. God knows if I'll ever find it. We can pack so much crap. Let's see if it's in this pocket here. Yeah, won't pest you. I got pills, honey. We're good on pills. Yeah, I'll find them on there a little bit. Let's have a drinky. Still got hot coffee from the morning, in case you haven't seen it. It's in the one-of-a-kind bullet thermos. Thanks, Crystal and Dave. It works great. But I got to get back on the meatballs thermos pretty soon, because I promised her that it'd be hers that she got me for Christmas one year. But I feel proud to have this thing. Alright, let's just keep busting stuff out. I'll shut this off for a little bit, get a couple things set up, then we'll talk to you again. Well, I think we're gonna set up the tent first. So, I didn't find my thermometer yet. I know it's in there, but it's buried deep. All right, I think we're looking fairly pretty. We'll go ahead and stake this out. Then we'll get some ingredients in there. All right, one thing we haven't done yet is find the privy. I see a path. You see my tent right behind me here. And then opposite that, it's not obvious to you on the GoPro, but we're going to take a walk up this path and see if we can find the turlet, the latrine. Yeah, this looks like a beaten path here. Boy, if a guy had an emergency at nighttime, this could be a challenge. Look at that. Remember the other one, last trip had a number written on the side of it. Look at that throne. Not a very good view of the lake. Going around it looking for a number. No number there. I'm not gonna horrify you all by... Nah, no number on this one. Well, I looked in it. A, it's been used, and I'm going to say recently. B, they're going to be digging a new one fairly soon. All right. Now we know where it is. Feeling good about this. All right. Tent is pretty much square. I brought the 3-man again because I knew I wasn't going to be doing any portaging, and the extra room is kind of nice to throw the extra clothes in. And yeah, I got my little booties there, extra dry clothes, some extra bags, empty bags, and that's going to be home sweet home, people. Well, I didn't want to bore the heck out of you putting it up because I didn't quite know how I was going to do it. But this is going to be the tarp. Oh, I found my thermometer. Check that out. You can probably read it at 50 degrees. We are boiling out here. So I'm going to hang that up somewhere. I taped a nail to the backside so I can put it against a tree. This thing probably cost me $3.50. That's wet, people. Gotta find some other stuff. I think we might have a tree here. All right, we're gonna trim off the branches. And I think we're gonna bring this back to camp and cut her up. I'm not going to pretend to be the woodcutter that Nicholas is, but I think it's a pretty good pile. That was those 2 pieces of tree. Pine smells wonderful. I hope it's dry enough. It's odd because the outer bark shed and the outer bark was moist, but the meat seems dry. And here are the entrails. This used to be a nice, clean, flat piece of rock. And I guarantee you, if Tammy was here right now, even though there's like 3 acres of nice, flat, clean rock, I'd have to clean this up. But, and I wish she was here, I won't clean it up. Nature will take its course and it'll all get washed away. Oh, I got a good one for you. Just before I started this particular snippet, you remember I was talking to you about seeing what looked like a barge go past me, and it was a decent distance away. I didn't bother recording because the GoPro wouldn't have resolved it. Well, I was cutting up wood and I heard the boat behind me, but there's lots of boats out here. And, but finally I had to take a break, stretch my back, and I saw the barge again. And it's got a pickup truck on it. So, and so once again, where's the pickup truck coming from? It came from the north end of the lake here, and I don't see any roads. I didn't look at it that tight, but it's the funniest dang sight you can imagine. Just a bargy looking boat with a rear tiller just tooling across a lake with a pickup truck on it. Yeah, something you don't expect to see. And that's the point, right? Is you're in the boundary waters you're communing with nature. Uh, and there goes a barge with a pickup truck on it. That's a heck of a juxtaposition. I hope I use that term right. All right. I don't know. I'm going to rest for a little bit. I might make a tea or a coffee and kick back for a little bit. I don't know if I'll go out tonight. But definitely we're going to hit it tomorrow. But we'll see. Let me take a break for a little bit, and we'll see how it goes. Well, I'm going to make some coffee. One thing I noticed, I filtered up a couple of bottles of water. And on this lake, I don't know if that's coming through at all. Black background. Let me put it out here once. That's pretty clear water. Hope you can see that. I had a brain fart. The valve was open and I was putting it on and it was obviously leaking then. And I couldn't register to save my life that the valve was open. Young Master Josh set me straight on that. Well, I got my coffee made. I think what we're going to do is we're going to make an early supper. Tonight's supper is going to be a hot ham and cheese sandwich and a hot mug of ramen. I think that's going to go perfect. I actually have enough for 2 nights with that, but I'm really going to try to get a fish dinner tomorrow. Quick weather update. I mounted my thermometer right to the pole here. I got about 46 degrees and it's quite comfortable. There's no wind. I mean, there's ripples on the lake, but you don't see the tent flapping at all. And so it's going to be a terrific night. All right, I'm going to sit back, have a little coffee, and then I'm going to prep most of the supper. Then we'll bring you back online to hang out with some of that. So this is a Steri pen, uses UV light to sterilize single cell organisms. Doesn't kill them. They just can't reproduce. So I'll eat them if they're in there, but they'll get digested like any other bug. I've had very good luck. Operationally, I've had very good luck with this thing. Sophie, you can edit out the whole 90 seconds if you want. There's no birds. I saw a loon earlier when I was paddling. It's just dead quiet right now, unless a motorboat goes by. There we go. So that's all there is to it, 90 seconds. All right. All right. We're cooking. I'm going to use 2 stoves. I'm going to use the alcohol stove right here for my hot ham and cheese. And we'll go with the jet boil for some ramen. And I might as well get that going. Here's the ham. Know that not having a scale here to evenly break up the ham in half is slightly anxiety building. I'm not gonna lie, but I can fight through it. I can fight through it and be like a normal human being. Might as well have my coffee out here. The flavor pack. It's warming up nicely. All right, we're boiling here. 3 minutes. Don't worry, I do pick up my garbage. On a cold trip, I gotta learn to get some sugar-free hot chocolate. That would go really, really swell. All right, we flipped it. Might give it just a little more butter underneath there. There we go. You see all that golden up just nice on the top there. Let's take a look at the bottom. Oh! It's all right. So I'm gonna hang out here and have my supper, and then I'm gonna check in with you people in a little bit. The warm pan feels good in my lap. People, that's the stuff right there. Seriously. Very easy to make. You saw it. I was asked, I'm going to give a shout out here to a friend of mine, work colleague, and we BS about outdoorsy stuff all the time. Mike N down in Missouri, and your lovely bride Mitzi. But anyway, we were shooting the bull about, because he's watched some of the videos and he wonders why I don't cook over the fire more often. And I don't know, it's just, to me, this is a cleaner way of cooking. The fire's cool. Me and Nick cook over the fire, usually night one, if we bring steaks or brats or burgers. I got no problem with that. But you got to get a fire going. You got to get the fire right. You got to keep it right. And your cookware gets dirty. And, you know, maybe I should lighten up a little bit and let my cookware get dirty. And there's ways to prep your cookware. When I used to do Canada trips, I was taught that if you took dish soap and smeared dish soap on the underside of your pans, whatever's going to go on the fire, then that kind of makes an insulating barrier, and the soot attaches to the dish soap, and you bring it down to the water and you clean it right off. Comes off real easy. But again, that's a big pain here. You know, we got an alcohol stove. We've got the jet boil. I don't think I'm cheating in the outdoors that bad. Oh, this is great. I'll tell you what. The family knows that I have real mild separation anxiety. And I'm not alone. You watch that TV show Alone, and you know, everyone's talking about how much they miss their family, how much they love them, and you scream at the TV like, grow a pair, for crying out loud. This is a contest. And man, I'm out here day one, and it's not the end of the world. It's all good. Right now, I'm in just a terrific mood. And I feel like I'm talking with Tammy and the girls. And so it gets better every time I do a trip. When I did that one hike on the North Country Trail, man, it hit me that first night. Nothing with the walking. It was like 11 miles with a 50-pound pack that first day. And all my attention was on that. But man, when I got to camp, it was a letdown. So it's way better to come out here with someone. You know, I know a lot of people go it alone because they prefer it alone. I went alone this time because I wanted to get a trip in. Nick's got a real job now, and he doesn't have a heck of a lot of vacation. Young Master Jackson is just ripping it in school. Good for him. And so, I don't know. If I do come out, it's got to be someone with the right mindset, too. So I'll be curious if you feel like leaving me a comment on your philosophy of that. $40 on the nose. So you got to learn to occupy your time. And like I said, you know, I've thought about the separation anxiety thing. It's real for me. It's real. But it's not debilitating. But you know, when I first got to camp here, I would have loved to have Tammy, the girls, the boys, all here. Just give me 10 minutes with you. Just to talk and get around. It is such a feeling of isolation. But I can tell every trip it gets better and better, and this one is really quite good. So my soup is looking really good here. So yeah, you occupy your time. You know, you set up camp, get your tarp, go haul some wood, get things a little organized, have a purpose, right? Have a purpose. So I'm going to hang out here and eat my soup, but I'm going to let you guys go. I've got a fire prepped, and we'll have a fire, and we'll talk a little bit more before bedtime. But it might be early to the sack, and I might just listen to a book in bed for a while. Yeah, cripe, it's only 6:13 for crying out loud. So I'm either getting a lot of sleep tonight, or I'll try to stay busy, stay up till about 9 or so. She'll be darn dark by then. All right, people. All right, people, we're going to try to have ourselves a little fire. And hopefully this wood that I split up takes. Well, we'll see. That's pretty nice, huh? So I told you earlier that I met Force Ranger right in the parking lot. So I was getting all my gear out of the car. Nice kid. I put him about 30-ish. His name was Dave. So he was a nice enough guy. He, you know, checked permits, that kind of thing. But he was more than happy just to make some small talk. And so it turns out he's taken, this is his last day here. He's staying with the Forest Service, but he's moving to Walker, Minnesota. Apparently it's a promotion. And so he sold his house. Gave me advice that I should get a new life jacket. Mine's not the right style for paddling. I said I'd consider it, but I'm a cheap bastard. And he laughed. He got a kick out of that. Let me tell you, the stars are out. Holy jeepers, it is awesome. So I might let this die down, kill all the lights, and pull a walrus action. Watch some stars for a little bit. $8.20. That's good. That's good. We'll stay up maybe for another half hour. Certainly not going to videotape me staring at stars, but I'm going to give it a shot. Kick back over here, and after this burns out, tomorrow we're going to go look at Canada land. We're going to videotape it. I'd videotape me standing on Canadian land, but you know sure as heck if we YouTube that and someone catches me saying, hey, I'm on Canadian land, I'd have Interpol after me. So no, we'll stay in the boat. But that's how far up we are. There's some mice out here. I was going to try to videotape them for you, Mama. I know how much you love them. But I wasn't patient enough, so she's starting to die down now. I'm going to rake the coals a little bit here. All right, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to stop boring the heck out of you. I'm going to hang out here for a little bit more, watch the fire die down. Then I will meet you in the tent for some closing thoughts on the night, all right? Hi, people. It's night one. It's bedtime. Take the shoes off. There we are. Okay. All right. So I got everything I need. I got extra clothes. I brought my food in here. I got my booties. Mama asked if I had extra rags. Here's my extra rags. I'm going to change into some other pants. Mama, this balaclava was good. Boy, my ears were getting just a little chilly. I could have wore the woolen cap too, but even on the neck, that was nice. People, it might not have been the most stimulating day for you, but you take a trip like this and you got to slow everything down. You're not around the computer. As far as the phone, the only thing I do on the phone is give a quick little text update to Mom and the family. Make sure they know that I'm okay. But I don't surf the web. I don't check email. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. It's kind of a self-imposed rule. I listen to books, but I figure listening to a book is no different than reading a book out here. So I treat myself to that little nicety. And yeah, you come out here and you know, you make the best of it. You take enjoyment in setting up camp and being able to survive in the bush. Not that you know, it's the worst conditions, but yeah, and you got to tolerate isolation. And my family's right with me. That's the way I look at it. I'm talking to you right now as if you're right here. Wish you were here. But yeah, so I'm going to change into some other clothes. I'll probably say goodnight to you yet, but I'll sign off for a little bit while I change. And yeah, I might listen to my book for a little bit. And we're going to wrap her up pretty soon. It's 10 to 9 o'clock. I'm glad that I stayed up a little bit later, so I wasn't in bed by 7 o'clock, for crying out loud. Hey, people. We're fixing to wrap it up here. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll treat you to breakfast, and we'll put a game plan together, but we're going to hit the lake, and we're going to do some fishing tomorrow. Decent fishing. I'm not promising to catch anything. Again, I'm going in blind here. But no, we're going to give it a shot. We're going to make a good breakfast and start it off right. All right, so we're finishing off a good day. Man, when you can set up camp and all your shelter with no rain, and now there's no wind, it's just pure, crisp, cool air. This is perfect. All right, family, good night, and we'll see you in the morning.
Well, it was an uneventful night. It was plenty warm. I don't want to get up yet. It's still a little chilly. So, anyway, I'll get up. We'll go get some breakfast and some coffee going. Oh.
Good morning, people. We rose to a beautiful day. I just checked the temperature. It held overnight. We're at 40 degrees. It's going to do nothing but warm up, so that's great. I want to show you the sunrise here. Give you a quick scan of the lake, then we're going to make breakfast. I don't want to go full force into the sun here. It's behind the tree. But I'll just key over just a little bit here. Look at that. We're going to cook breakfast. Oh, that sun is coming up, boys. She's going to warm up nicely. I can tell the alcohol caught because I can smell the burnt hair from my hand. Tammy got me some sausages, chopped me up some onion. We're going to make some scrambled eggs, sausage, and onion. These are the powdered eggs that I bought online. I've gotten a ton of servings out of this thing. I just checked the thermometer. Right now it's still 40. This is looking really good. Almost done. So I'm thinking of Mike again. Mike, I'm talking to you. Can you imagine the pain in the rear of starting a fire, getting out of the tent, starting a fire in the morning, and cooking eggs over it. And I know your answer. I know your answer. Yeah, it would be great. So, this is why Mike is wrong and I'm right. All right, I'm gonna call her quits on that. That's what we got to look forward today to. Alrighty then. Well, cheers, people. Here's to a good start of a day 2. All right, people, I think we're ready to put the canoe in the water. I think I got the camera set up halfway decent. So go ahead and laugh. Here we go. All right, we'll see you, family. Well, we're out on the water. 9:40. So I've never been here before. But we've been awfully fortunate to find spots. Not that we're gonna feed a family of 8 or anything, but we've always been fortunate to find something. And what I want to do is get out in front of this island, get my act together, get baited up, maybe just drift for a little bit, test out the depth finder, and then we'll get serious. Yeah, and this hoodie's gonna come off. That's enough of that. Well, it's 10:23, and she's been a dry spell so far. The fish finder appears to be working good, and it does ping fish every now and then. It's a very generic screen, but for 50 bucks, what'd you expect? Yeah, it's dry fishing. I'm gonna head up north, and I'm coming up to the places and the campsites that I was originally going to consider, and I wanted to see the small portage. Supposedly Right up here is a small portage through this big peninsula that I think I can skirt around way west here. Ranger said he didn't think I could. And we're just gonna go find out. But I wanted to see the campsites, at least from the water. So this is supposedly the short portage into Birch Lake. And that will see Canada. Okay. Forward into the sand. Alright. Boat's good. I came into that channel right here, lost a jig, attempting to do a little bit of fishing. Now we're going to see what this short portage is all about, and I'm suspecting it is short as heck. Well, that was short. I could have thrown a rock this far. Well, people, you're looking at Canada on the left. Well, I'm very tempted to go over there. I won't. So, fishing has been tough. I'm in this narrow channel, and I gotta re-gear my jig line, as I mentioned to you before, that I lost the jig. I'm saddened by that, I'll admit. Now I gotta dig out a fresh jig, and that's what I'm gonna do now while I'm in this kind of protected channel. I'll re-rig up and I might just try to fish this thing, for crying out loud. Oh, so this was the spot the ranger didn't think we could get into, and it was plenty easy to get into. So I've canoed up to Canada. I gotta tell you, it looks a lot the same as us. All right, let me re-rig and I'll come back to you. So I'm fishing the Canadian shoreline. I don't know if you can read this, but that's pinging fish, for damn sakes. They mustn't like my presentation, or as Tammy would say, my attitude. If I talk nice to the fish, maybe sing to them Christmas carols. It's never too early for Christmas carols. That's what Tammy would do. And then she would boat fish. This thing's still pinging fish. And I don't think it's my jig. Just watch, it's my jig. Don't know if you caught anything down there, but what the heck? I'm not catching anything. People, I'm a good ways from camp, and I did my investigative journalism, and I'm gonna fix to turn around, reel in, and slow paddle it back to camp, and then we'll regroup and decide a plan there. Alrighty, I might give you a little view along the way. So I'm coming up to this little inlet that brought me above the U.S. peninsula to see the Canadian border. You're not going to see it yet on the GoPro, but just the little inlet is nice and calm, and I can see out beyond the inlet. We're going to have ourselves some wind. Fortunately, the wind is largely in the direction I want to go. So other than some steerage correction, we're going to be just fine. Hopefully you're picking that up now on the GoPro. You can kind of use the sun reflection to give you an idea. Look at this. Oh, this will be a blast. Man, there are some shallow rocks right here. This is a motorboat lake, but if you weren't careful and came blasting through this inlet, you could lose your lower unit in about 2 seconds. All right, we're splashing now, people, and I don't even think we're in the thick of it yet. It's a heck of a day at sea, sir. Well, let's have some fun. That's what I say. Right? We didn't come up here to be coddled. And sure enough, down the home stretch here, look how soft the water got. But I didn't get a strike all day, sorry to say, people. And I gave it the old college try. I know there's way better fishermen than me that can read a lake, but I didn't think I was hosing up that bad. All right, let's go fishing. Well, we're still out here. The routine is basically row upwind, sidle up to some islands, and then drift past them jigging, or bottom bouncer. And I'm telling you, I know I'm not this clueless. This lake, or this area, they either not on bite, or there's no fish here. No, just watch. This will be the time I get a strike and I gotta wrench the camera back. Fat chance. Well, it's 5:36. I gave it a good drift again. I had both lines out, carefully watching them. There was times the finder was pinging. I felt the depth was right. I feel like I've got one with a fake leech, Berkeley gulp, the other one with the crawler, whitetail. These things hit. So I don't know. We're gonna bag it for tonight. I might just do some slip bobber right offshore. And this time when I go in, I'm actually going to check the depth from casting distance. Yeah, but that's it. I'm heading in. Yeah, we're going to prep some supper. All right, we'll see you in a bit. Hey, people. All right, we're in. We're in for the night now. It's looking like the lighting on the GoPro, it does some light enhancement. I got 10 to 6, and what we're going to do is re-rig one of my lines. Re-rig one of the lines with slip bobber, and I'm going to put I'll probably put an 1/8 ounce. I'll probably put an 1/8 ounce with a crawler on it. I checked the depth within casting distance of the shore down there, and it's looking like about 11 or 12 feet. So we got nothing to lose. I'm going to rig for that, and then I think we're going to get supper going, and we'll share that with you. And then, yeah, we're going to drop a line and just see. Put the headlamp on, just like Posa. He made the walleye's eyes glow at night. We're going to try some of that a little bit later. I picked up some dead sticks in the woods rather than cutting thicker pieces and splitting it. We should have a decent fire tonight. And I suspect that even some of the stuff that I split probably dried out during the day. It was a nice day, so it wouldn't surprise me if some of it burns. So yeah, we'll have that. All right, I'm gonna work on the line, and we'll see you in a bit. Maybe. Family, we're making the same thing as last night. Hot ham and cheese and some ramen. Sophie, this may take a while, so you edit out whatever you need to. Flavor packet out. Don't want to screw up the flavor packet. I don't know what to say about the fishing. I felt very emasculated. I think I can admit that to the 200 million people watching this video. You know, I'm not a world-class fisherman. I strive. I put the effort in. I've caught a lot of fish doing the same thing I'm doing, so it's not like I'm tying a rock to a string and hoping to bring in a fish. Seriously, the only sign of fish is whatever was pinging on the depth finder, because I never had a nibble. And yeah, that's not gonna lie to you, kind of rough. Kind of rough. I see you. I see you. Oh. Oh, look at that. Never has noodles been poured in with such expertise. Turn it way down. Way down. Way down. Taking this lid off will help. We'll give that 2 more minutes. I'm hearing the ham start to sizzle. I got about 45. 45 now. Viewers, if you know that reference, indicate it on the website. 45 now. There is some situational similarity to that quote. That's all I'm saying. It's the only hint you're getting. Yeah, that's warming up nice. Don't worry about all the garbage. I pick it all up. No one can tell that a human has been here. Except for that nice pile of wood that someone's going to inherit. I bored the heck out of you already on this, more than you care to be reminded. But I like these little bushcrafted tables. I watch, you know, I'm not a diehard video fan for who does what on camping. But a lot of people cook right off the ground and they're on their knees. And I've done it. My knees get sore. My back gets sore. I need to be propped up a little bit. You've probably seen the knee pads that I bring. Yeah, that has got to be done there. Let me turn that off. Let's get all right. Flavor packs in. My little meatball doesn't care, or maybe it's Sophie, one of the two, maybe both. Don't use the flavor pack for their ramen. They might just put a little butter in, and that suits them just fine. Of course, little meatball, she can't stand the plastic packaging ramen that you just saw. Here we go. Oh, mommy, look at that. Let's have a little more butter. Who's with me? Yep, I hear you, butter. Scoop that butter in there. Oh, that's all it takes, people. That's all it takes. So my bread is a little kitty wampus. Yeah, that's good. Look at those flames coming around, man. You can't deny the alcohol stove. Look at that thing. And a nice clean flame. Sorry, Mike. Just had to get that little jibe in there. So we'll let that warm there. Jesus Christmas, look at that flame. And my noodles are just delightful. Oh yeah. And then we're going to back things up inside the tarp. Why? Why not? My good chair is in there. Yeah, this is good. Once again, don't get hung up on the garbage. It's all part of the master plan. That's it. That's it. Let's cover that flame. There we go. And I think we're safe like that. Stir stick right there. I will kill the video for a sec till I get situated. All right, supper time. 6:45, so we did okay. Hopefully your light's good enough. Sophie, I left off the LED this time, and I'm hoping the overhead, yeah, it looks from the image like it's okay. Oh, nice warm pan. And had to get my towel. All right, so we're set up pretty nice here. There's nothing quite like a hot meal on a cold night. I just saw it was 45. Let's take a look. See, it's kind of right in front of you on the pole. Yeah, 45. Oh, that's the stuff. So more boats back and forth again today. I saw one fellow canoe, a couple of guys in it. I waited till like they were 30 feet away and, you know, gave them a hello, and it's possible that my deafness kicked in, but I didn't hear boo. This was when I had just passed over around that peninsula to see Canada. They were probably Canadians. Just kidding. Love my Canadian friends. My relatives are all Canadian. You know, the conversation's really dying when you're talking about chipmunks and no fish. I did see, and I'm going to tell you, you know, the motor limit out here is 25 horse. But I saw a boat come by today, and he was either well-tuned, or maybe he was pushing a little higher horsepower. Another one, like a Lumacraft. I mean, a stripped-down 16-footer, back tiller, and he had a rack system to have a canoe on the top of his boat, above their heads, right? They're sitting in there happy as anything, and they've got a T-rack front and back to have a canoe on top of their boat. And then I saw another boat towing a canoe. I know that's popular out here. As people who want a canoe and don't want to waste all the time getting there. But it's not like rush hour traffic. It's just real occasional. Like right now, you know, I'm looking across the lake and I still see the outlines of the trees against the sky. There's still a little bit of lightness out there, but it's becoming dead calm. True or false? Dead calm is a movie. Yeah, it's amazing. Wind, it was pretty decently windy all day today. Not like when I came out. Yeah, part of that trek, you saw that on video. Part of that trek coming back from the north side where I went exploring today. Thank God it was at my back. That would have been just a bugger. And it wasn't that far. But hitting those little rollers head on would have been not good. Thankfully, I had the wind at my back. All right. Here it is. We're going with the Jig of Doom chartreuse with half a crawler. I'm going to cast out and then I'll rearrange the camera in a bit here. Boy, that water is clear. I'm not quite 11 or 12 feet. Jesus, I can't even see. All right, people, we're going to have ourselves a fire. It's 8 o'clock. I'll give you the rundown on fishing in about 5 seconds. I cleaned out the grate. It's not obvious to you, but this grate is really low. It's tough to get a stack of wood underneath it. So I scraped it out, and you know, it was all damp ash, so no fire hazard, and I just scooped up with my hands and scattered it. Oh gosh. So you saw, I was down there and I cast out. I never did that in the dark before. I launched it out there, you know, slip bobber. And all of a sudden it's like, where the heck did it go? And you got to aim the beam of your light right on it. And the orange top of the bobber has some good reflective material on it. And it reflected back. But then my eyes were playing tricks on me. I would swear that sucker was dancing around or getting led around. You got no frame of reference. And so I tried a few casts. I almost got snagged on one and bringing it in. And so I'm thinking, and I'll probably mention this in the morning too. You know that little portage that we stopped at and I walked over, really short. That brings me, again, I went all the way around the peninsula and didn't come back to where the portage was, but came part ways back. That's kind of the international waters right up there. But tomorrow I'm thinking I'm going to take that portage, jump on the other side, and, you know, just try my best up there. I don't know how hard I'll hit it tomorrow. I tried, and so we may take our time getting up tomorrow. Put a few hours in, and that's all good. You know, I don't know how Posa does it. I don't know how he stays up so late. I occupy my time. I try to keep having things to do because I don't want to go to bed too early and wake up in the middle of the night. So, and that guy, you know, he's up midnight, 1 o'clock, even later sometimes. And so those of you viewers, presumably you've seen him, but I'm talking about Matthew Posa Adventures. Our family really likes his YouTube channel. And certainly I'm nowhere near in competition with him. This is largely family keepsakes what I'm doing here. All right, fire's done. I put my long johns back on, shedded the hoodie. That's what's got the booties. That's what it's gonna be, people. I might listen to my book a little bit more before I hit it. It is. Oh, 20 minutes to 9. I'm tired. It's, now we'll talk about solo canoeing. Man, you take for granted having a... So I was rudely interrupted by exhausted battery. No, what I was talking about was you take for granted having two people in a canoe, one person taking over when the other person has something to do. You got none of that. You are in charge of everything. And it can be exhausting, never mind trying to fish. So, you know, not complaining certainly, but it's just an observation. And yeah, I would like to think that I could overcome that and catch some fish. I was on some good drifts. I'm just saying. And you know, it didn't happen. It didn't happen for me today. I don't mind being judged for that. Got a lot to learn yet. And yeah, anyway, we're gonna give it a shot tomorrow. Man, I'm tired. And yeah, we'll see you for breakfast, okay? All right, good night, people.
Good morning, people. Day 3. Last full day. Oh, it was still chilly last night. Ugh. It's about 7:30. It tinkled for a little bit last night. I can see droplets on the fly. But it was very light. So, I don't know what that means. I wasn't expecting any rain. But we'll get up in a little bit here. I'm not going to hurry. And then we'll make some breakfast.
All right, we're up. We're up. Everything's looking good. It must have been one heck of a light rain because already, I mean, under the trees even, it's pretty dry. And I had a couple bags that were out and they're just a little spotty is all. So, I wonder if that'll stand here without falling. So it's 8:30. I slept in. And now we're going to pull our day together. Oh, yeah. And yeah, a little chilly. Oh, I see our first loon. I don't see the partner. I'll see, I'll turn the camera here, see if you can pick that up. You might have to zoom in a little bit, Sophie. But contrasted against the water, he's out there. How do you like that for a loon call? Well, we're gonna start getting breakfast ready. First thing is I gotta warm up a cup of water for my eggs. This is my new 1 cup aluminum cup. I think it's kind of cool. Goes in the bowl. Then I already filled my thermos with water. We're gonna get a cup of Joe going. Improvise, adapt, and overcome. Boot. The wind is coming straight this way, past the camera. That's gonna help. Yeah, we're cooking. I gotta go get my coffee packets. And then tomorrow we'll take off with a tea. Shows you how old I am. I'm gonna take my pills. I've gotta get a cook pot. Everybody in the world has a cook pot except me. I brought a frying pan, which works great. It's gonna do my eggs, does my sandwiches. Jet boil is awesome. But if the jet boil ain't working, and I need to use the alcohol stove, I mean, I could use my frying pan to boil water, but it'd be nice just to have, I think, a 1.5 liter. I think a 1.5 liter. I think that's all I need. All right, we'll let that steep. I'm gonna mix my eggs. I'll get them started for you here. All right, there's the routine. So I'm gonna sit here and mix this for a while, and I'll catch up with you in a little bit. All right, I think we're ready for cooking. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Well, I kind of judge by my onions. If they're starting to clear, we're ready to add eggs. That's what I say. I don't see it right now, but that loon kept hanging out. Yeah, the moment you hear rain in the middle of the night, your mind goes into panic mode. I got over that pretty quickly, went back to sleep. Yeah, we're getting close here. Just another minute. Chop and roll, people. I bug my family all the time. If you start eggs, you stay on the eggs. Don't walk away. Certain foods need constant attention. And for my little meatball, boiling noodles is one of those. As inconvenient as it is, you gotta stir them. All right, this is looking good. Yep, I'm pulling that. Okay, you can tell I am really not driving hard this morning. I am taking my time. I will admit that I'm a little frustrated with the fishing. And so, as I tell the girls, there is no script in life other than the obvious, good values, blah, 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 is you get to make your decisions. And there's no rule here that says I gotta pop up out of bed, get in the boat, go fishing until my arms fall off. Let's kick the dogs up. Oh yeah, that's another nice thing about that extra stool.
salt. Just a little bit. Pepper. Just a little bit more. Mom and I like the pepper. You know, we might as well talk. Once I get on the water and rowing, it'll be more difficult for me to... I got my phone here. That's what's the chunky... There we go. I mentioned to you earlier in the trip about electric bikes. I'm struggling. So part of my exercise regime when I'm at home is to bike. I'm not a big time biker. I got a cross trainer, whatever they call them, G-bar. 21 speed thing has got to be at least 25 years old, but it works. So I ride for the sake of exercise, and I think I put some decent miles in. In uninterrupted summertime, I'm usually about 100 miles a week, broken up over 3 days. I've had this happen numerous times, and it drives me nuts. And I'm going to tell you, usually it's a kid. I'm going to say 20, 25 years old. Last time was almost, I think my last ride. I was out side of a highway, big apron, plenty safe. This kid comes biking past me, and I'm doing maybe 14, 15 miles an hour. This kid's doing double my speed. He had to be 30 miles an hour at least on an electric bike. And I'm watching him pedal. And his cadence is no faster than mine. And it's obvious to me that he's pedaling for show. So here's my question. Electric scooters, electric bikes, something where you can get to town and back, 40, 50 mile range before recharge. As a quick little get to and fro. I got no problem with that. That all is just another option in your arsenal of transportation. Why are we putting pedals on an electric bike? Who are we fooling? Oh, but I wouldn't bike otherwise, and this way I can pedal a little bit. No, you like getting out there looking like you're biking, and you're not biking. And I'm sure some of you who watch this are going to torch me. Sorry. Get a bike. Get a pedal bike. You don't have to go a million miles. But don't pretend like you're out there biking. These kids are 10 times healthier than I am. Get on a bike! And they're just cruising. Again, I don't care if you've got electric scooter, electric bike without pedals. Let's not pretend. So that's my take on the electric bike. I'm actually very intrigued. I see these scooters out there, and yeah, they're kind of cool. I don't know how long batteries last and what it would take to replace them and stuff, but like I said, as a extra option in your arsenal, quick scoot off to town if you're halfway nearby, fine. All right, so that's a story. If you feel compelled to write, go ahead. Keep it clean. But yeah, that's my most recent irksome thing in the whole wide world of global problems. The electric bike. It starts with the electric bike.
Oh, God, that's good. All right, I'm going to kill the camera, finish my breakfast, and then we're going to start talking through a plan to hit the water. Yeah, this will work. Oops. Just like that. We got a little water in the boat, but I got that pad thing in there that's gonna kind of keep us up above it. Now everything's got a place. Everything's got a place. See that? I brought the rain gear. I wasn't gonna bring the rain gear. You know, sure as heck, I'll be at the farthest point away and the rain will start. So, I'm not gonna be one of those guys. You know, you should have brought your rain gear. Is that? Every time I land and depart in a canoe, I learn some better trick. You watch, I'll just fall right on my rear here. All right, that wasn't bad. I like to let the boots drip a little bit, so don't bring a ton of water in the boat. The lack of sound. Maybe I'll see a barge come by again, hauling a tractor or something. Coming into the cove where the portage is at the end of it. I was wrong. Wrong cove. Oh, we got her. Here's our portage. This is nice. All right, we're gonna go see Canada here in a sec. Not backwards, not backwards. Let's go forwards. Let's go forward. So that far shoreline is Canada. I'm gonna mosey to that side of the lake. There's some islands over there. Then I'm gonna try to fish. Bald eagle just flew behind the camera into a tree. I'm sure he's watching me. See if I can catch a nugget for him. Well, I think I got Tammy's lure of doom here. Does that look right, sweetheart? We're going to try some trolling. This is a sinking wrap, so I don't need to go real fast to keep it down. I haven't gotten a strike yet. I'm telling you, this lake is barren. Barren. It's not me. Oh, no, sirree. No, I've got the Babe Winkleman touch. No reason other than lack of fish. And I am pretty sure this fish finder is pinging rocks, not fish. So I'll be turning that in for a full refund. I'm just kidding. It works good. You watch, I'll get this stuck on a frickin' rock like Excalibur's sword. All right, I'll let you know if something happens. Just wanted to fill you in on the goings on. So I lost your lure, honey. And it wasn't due to any strike. It wasn't due to any snag. I just went back into this bay and decided that I'd bring it in and try a little jigging. And it's reeling in just really easy. And I finally get the end to the boat. And the swivel that I had tied on, it was still tied on, but the portion that clips to the lure, she gone. So my swivel somehow broke, and I never felt it. I watched that rod the whole time. It didn't bend, worth nothing. So you're gonna have to go on a new search and destroy mission. But in the meantime, I just had to adjust that a little bit. Let me get back to this electric bike thing. I was pondering it more, and I haven't changed my position, but I now have one reason that you'd have pedals on an electric bike, and that's for when you run out of battery, so you can get it home. That's the only reason you got pedals on that bike. Oh, but pedaling charges the battery. No, it doesn't. The only way your battery's going to get charged is if you harness braking, and even then, it's minuscule. How often are you braking on a bike ride? Who wants to brake riding a bike? It's so inefficient. So there you go. You know, it's not quite a motorcycle. I get that. They got electric motorcycles. It's not a bike. Let's not kid ourselves. It's a two-wheeled conveyance with pedals, and the pedals are really for emergency. I would have had more respect for that guy who blew me away on the highway at twice my speed if he wasn't pedaling at all. Just had his feet on the pedals, rode past, maybe give me a wave. I'd give him a nod of the head. Yeah, you got an electric bike and you're not pretending. That's what I would have said. So right now I'm back in this bay. I can't really describe where it is, but it's Canada on all three sides, people. But the night's going to start winding down, and we'll have an earlier fire tonight, about an hour earlier, so I can hit the sack, and I'll try to get up a little early so we can hit the lake at a reasonable time and come back to the loving arms of my bride. That would be good. And little Sophie and Nick are having a housewarming. They bought a new house, and we're just proud as punch of them. Working on my separation anxiety, which is great. I feel really great right now. I'm in a good place. I feel like the family's right with me. Let me do this. And yeah, it's usually earlier in the trip I have that dealio, but it wasn't bad this trip. It wasn't bad. It's usually a first night type thing, and so long as you keep busy, You think about just picture them right there with you. Everything's good. All right, I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Certainly I'd be concerned if I had a motorboat, but when you're going 1.5 miles an hour, worst that's going to happen is you're going to bump into a piece of wood. Don't you just wonder how many jigs are stuck to logs in this bay? I mean, you see all this above water. Just imagine the mess underneath. So I crossed the body of water from Canada back over to the US side, and I entered this bay. There's a campsite right on the tip, but then it goes inland a little bit, just a deep bay. I just wanted to check it out. Part of the exploring, and similar to that other area, we've got a ton of submerged wood, big open water. I'm going to show you a big beaver dam here in a little bit. I'm not quite sure what he thinks he's damming up because he's surrounded by water. Oh man, I think I had a strike. All right, crazy cats, we're back to our short little portage. Get back in my main lake. All right, I'll turn you off and see you in a bit. Putting back in, people. All right. I trolled a ton of shoreline up on the international waters up there. And I'm going to tell you how pathetic my life has gotten today. I got excited over snags. It's the only action I got all day. I would have swore I had a strike. I told you that earlier. But now, in light of other snags, I think it was just a snag that got loose. All right, we're coming into camp, people. There we are. There we are. Right up on this side. That's perfect. Oh, goodness, that was a long day. We'll talk some more here in a bit. Let me get the boat out of the water. Oh, it's gonna feel good to get these boots off. Yeah, I wish I had more exciting video for you. Shy of walking on water, which would, I think, get me to 200 subscribers, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, shy of that. It's just being out here and doing it, and hopefully hopefully you can kind of groove on that, live live a little bit vicariously. It's not like our last trip, boy. We had action after action. But anyway, we're out here. I'll get right back to you. Hi, people. I think we're fixing to prepare the Last Supper. So tonight we have dug into the Mountain House classic spaghetti and meat sauce. I like this stuff. It's really good. I also have the lasagna, but tonight I thought I'd spoil myself on the spaghetti. 1 3/4 cups of water. Cover that up. Robert Irving's Fit Crunch Bar. What the heck's that called? Happy Trekking Trex Mix. All right, we're cooking up good here. And so, nope, we're boiling. All right, so we got to stir this. Well, supper's all ready. There it is. Spaghetti and meat sauce. This is good stuff. Posa puts together a good spaghetti and meat sauce. Does it himself, dries it out. I keep threatening to do that myself sometime, but you actually have to get off your rear and do it. You gotta love the natural beauty. This was all here before we were here. You gotta love what the Forest Service is doing to preserve as much, I don't know, wildness, remoteness. The idea of having designated campsites, I think is smart. And all the ones that I've been to, the campers and canoers and what have you, they're always clean of at least, you know, garbage. Rarely do I find something, and if I do, it's a scrap of something that it's obvious someone accidentally, you know, wind blew it or something like that, and I pick it up. I throw it in my little collection of garbage. But at the same time, and I'm repeating words that real people have said before, as beautiful as the nature is, to be a part of it, at least immerse yourself in it for a little bit, called canoeing and fishing and camping. We're not roughing it really by any means here. I'm not roughing it by any means. But nature doesn't have a brain. It doesn't care about you. And you can just see, I mean, you can see that if you know, an accident were to happen or whatever, it's unforgiving. It's not there to help you, which is why you respect the agnostic nature of nature and take care of yourself while not being a complete paranoid. And you take baby steps. I think when you come out here, go with someone experienced, but there's no reason you have to jump into the toughest trip ever. This, in my mind, was a very easy trip. No portage. Just get some distance under your belt, find a campsite. The wind was never that bad to threaten boat tippage. And if you just don't get in a hurry, it's fun. So that was a little bit of philosophy there. Mom and the girls, they support me on this. I would love to have them out here, and sometime we might do that. It's better with more people. The solo thing, I'll do it again. I don't like it as much compared to having a partner. You can talk to, bounce ideas off of. Me, I'm talking to you on the camera, and that's good, right? I'm making a little memory for the family, and we can BS around it, watching it on TV later, and kind of kid around and all that kind of stuff. But it's a video version of a scrapbook. All right, that's enough of that. I'm gonna keep eating this, have my dessert, and then I might see you when we start the fire, okay? So that'll be just a little bit more. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in a little bit. All right, family. Last fire. We'll see if this takes. It should take. We got a little bit of birch bark. Dinner was good. We're all cleaned up. I pretty much got all the trinkets put away. I just heard a duck out there. Yeah. A goose. Well, you know this is dry wood. There's hardly any crackling. And it's probably not pine. Or you'd hear that sap crackling. Which is good. I don't want a bunch of sparks all over. This is nice. How you doing there? We're getting ready for bed. Just took my shoes off. I am going to listen to the Weather Channel radio. I'm going to put my long johns on. I'll kill the camera for that period. And I got to put that LED light. I got a jury rig to the camera right below it. And we're going to call it a night. So I think I'm going to kill the camera, do my extra little things, and I'll see you in the morning. All right. Good night, family. I had to turn the light on this morning. It's 6:30. And I'm not sure the sun got the message. So, just ran out of battery. Right then. Gosh. Oh. First things first, I'm going to get that hot tea going. All right, see you in a bit. Sophie, if you can zoom in a little bit on that. That's my morning, people. How cool is that? It is perfectly clear skies. No wind, and we got a fine crescent moon. Okay, let's get some tea made. The reason I'm making tea right off the bat is I know it's going to take forever to cool down and be drinkable. This way I get it done early. There we are. All right. Oh, okay. I heard some critter traipsing around the tent last night. I talked to it at one point, but it didn't talk back. There we go. There we go. All right, let's shut her down. I gotta smell it. Had a bit of an orange. I wonder if Mama packed me orange Paco. Constant comment, black tea. All right. Decaffeinated. That's important for a morning out. Just teasing you, lovely. It's like the salt-free lemon pepper. All right, let's tear this thing down. Sophie, if you want to go fast forward. All right, we're ready to take down the tarp. Tent's all done. Most of the underlying stuff is all packed up. So here we go. Dump it right here. That would be just perfect. foot. Butt down. Second foot, drip dry. I don't know if you saw earlier or at all, but I got one of those accordion sleeping mats for pretty cheap to line the bottom of the canoe with. Again, Posa does that with his dog. I think he does that with his dog. And I think when you get a little bit of water in the boat, this thing, the water just runs underneath it. I think it's a closed cell foam, so I don't think it absorbs water underneath. It's got little, you know, bumps and cavities that can hold water, but your stuff stays above the water better, and it's super light. Okay, that's what we're doing. Look at that sky, people. Get much more smoother than this late in the morning. Entry point 25. I can even see the car up through the woods. Just pebbly rocks. Look at that. Right up to shore, huh? Okay, we made it. See if we got some signal. I'll send a quick message to Mama. All right, watch this little recording. Hi people, it's Sunday, October 23rd, 2022, and we are done with another adventure. We're ending on a terrific day. It's about 10:35 in the morning, and this is gonna wrap it up for this year. For your True North losers, I'm Reney, and I hope to see you next time.